In the folding configuration, Lig from the tribo-negative polyamide was sprayed with a protecting coating of polyurethane, which also served as a tribo-positive material. When the electrodes were brought together, electrons transferred to the polyamide from the polyurethane. Subsequent contact and separation drove charges that could be stored through an external circuit to rebalance the built-up. Sterling suffered today, at the worst possible time for holidaymakers, as the probability of leaving the EU without a deal rises. It dropped to its lowest level versus the dollar since the Article 50 process began in March 2017, just about staying above $1.22. It reached a 2-year low versus the euro of below €1.10. Can good or bad mood influence the common tendency for people to form judgments based on first impressions? Based on research on impression formation and recent work on affect and social cognition, this experiment predicted and found that positive mood increased and negative mood eliminated the primacy effect. Tourism has long been cited by world leaders as a driver of peace and security through understanding. In the 21st century, tourism is closely linked to development, embracing a growing number of new destinations, hence new jobs. Tourism can create civic pride by encouraging cultivation and sharing of local customs, food, traditions and festivals. People in more than 90% of cities around the world are currently breathing air that is toxic to their cardiovascular and respiratory health, according to the Lancet's Global Report. Between 2010 and 2016, air pollution concentrations worsened in almost 70% of cities around the globe. The spacesuits designed for walking on the moon had to be tough, strong and supportive. It's not surprising then that NASA commissioned them from a bra manufacturer, the International Latex Corporation. Each custom-made suit was made up of multiple layers of plastic fibers, rubber and metal wires, all covered in Teflon-coated cloth, hand-stitched by a team of seamstresses. Polls in June of that year show an even split between those in favor of the government funding human trips to the moon and those against. In the wake of the January 1967 Apollo 1 fire which killed 3 astronauts on the launch pad, more than half of respondents were opposed to the missions. Not so surprising for a 4-year-old, but there was a difference. Lee was asleep when he did it. As he got older, Lee's drawings became more intricate, and when he was 15 he drew 3 small, beautiful portraits of Marilyn Monroe, yet he had no memory of doing it. Sleepwalking and sleep talking are well documented and relatively common, but sleep drawing is much rarer. Lucy is one of the most complete skeletons, found to date from the early hominids, that flourished between 4 and 2 million years ago. The skeleton consists of bones from a single individual, presumably female, who stood well under 4 feet tall. Discovered by scientists in 1974, which the researchers listened to as they celebrated their remarkable find. The giant sequoia offers a glance at more than 1,400 years of history. The tree from which the museum's slice was taken stood over 300 feet tall, before it was felled by loggers in California, in 1891. Today, it is illegal to cut down giant sequoias. The trees contain a natural wood preservative, and are highly resistant to disease. The fuel cell will use an onboard fuel processor in a multi-stage, chemical reactive process to convert gasoline to water, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen, which will then be used to create electricity to power the car. The fuel cells would thereby deliver the same range as conventional gasoline-powered cars, and could significantly improve fuel economy. Gluten, a protein found in grains such as wheat, rye and barley, may negatively impact mood and brain health. In fact, A number of studies indicate that wheat can have a detrimental effect on mood, promoting depression and even more serious mental health problems. One mechanism that can help explain the mysterious connection between wheat and mental health problems. In Australia, heat waves cost more lives than all other natural hazards combined. They lead to an increase in heat-related illnesses, such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke, and drive up hospital admissions and death rates, particularly among older people and people with chronic illnesses. At a global level, 157 million more people were exposed to heatwave events in 2017 compared with 2000. Health and life insurance companies collect data from fitness trackers with the goal of improving business decisions. Hollywood actor Christopher Walken was the spokesperson for Qantas's 2016 Assure campaign. Currently, these business models work as a carrot incentive. That means consumers can benefit from discounts and cheaper premiums if they are willing to share their Fitbit data. Two years ago, the NBN promised download speeds on fixed wireless would soon match the best available on the network, 100 megabits per second. Now the NBN says download speeds of just 6 megabits are acceptable for some fixed wireless customers. Even then, delivering superfast broadband to some via fixed wireless was part of the mix. People with autism often suffer from gut problems, but nobody has known why. Researchers have now discovered the same gene mutations, found both in the brain and the gut, could be the cause. The discovery confirms a gut-brain nervous system link in autism, opening a new direction in the search for potential treatments that could ease behavioral issues associated with autism. Empathy is the innate ability to understand the suffering of another, with a willingness to help and promote the well-being of the person. Empathy enables human beings to share their experiences, needs, and desires and promotes pro-social behavior. Being empathic toward the patient improves the patient-provider relationship, helps the provider understand the needs of the patient. The availability of such tools, which we refer to as interactive decision aids for consumers, may lead to a transformation of the way in which shoppers search for product information and make purchase decisions. The primary objective of this paper is to investigate the nature of the effects that interactive decision aids may have on consumer decision-making in online shopping environments. Despite the explosive growth of electronic commerce and the rapidly increasing number of consumers who use interactive media for pre-purchase information search and online shopping, very little is known about how consumers make purchase decisions in such settings. A unique characteristic of online shopping environments is that they allow vendors to create retail interfaces. Brisbane's iconic yellow city cycles are about to undergo a major makeover, and will soon don blue mudguards following a successful bid by NRMA Insurance to partner with Council to deliver the bicycle share scheme. After close to 3.5 million trips, 2,000 Blue City cycles will soon be rolling, continuing our commitment to provide residents and visitors with an affordable and healthy way. Coffee appears to affect a number of neurotransmitters related to mood control, so drinking a morning cup could have an effect on your general sense of well-being. Research has also shown that coffee triggers a mechanism in your brain that releases BDNF, which activates your brain stem cells to convert into new neurons, thereby improving your brain health. Unexpected and unforeseeable events such as terrorism, political upheaval, impactful weather conditions and natural disasters can wreak havoc on a region, negatively affecting inbound tourism for considerable periods of time. The more dependent a destination is on tourism, the more the impact will be felt and the longer recovery will take. Because of the diverse scopes and objectives of GBR systems, and the ways GBR scores are calculated, a highly rated building might not perform well when compared to actual performance data. For example, it was found that at least 28% of LEED, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, certified buildings consume more energy than conventional buildings. What orthography would be better to begin with than the most widely used written system in the face of the earth, the Roman alphabet? At least 100 languages today use the Roman alphabet as its primary orthography. These languages include all of the languages of Western Europe, which include English, French, German, etc. In the first quarter, which ended March 31st, the ventures lost a combined $855 million, that's on top of a collective $3.6 billion loss for 2016. As a whole, Alphabet generated $90.3 billion in revenue in 2016. Google's share of that revenue was $89.5 billion, while its 2016 operating income was $27.9 billion. It's widely known that your mood can trigger food cravings, cause you to overeat or kill your appetite entirely. But the opposite also holds true in that the food you eat can make or break your mood. This is apparent not only in the minutes after you've eaten but also over time, as your diet helps to shape your mental health from the inside out. Telemedicine services for individuals with T1D are becoming increasingly popular and have been found to be beneficial for those who use them. However, there are very few multi-component telemedicine services available for individuals with T1D, and none of them provide a comprehensive technology-based system. A pregnant woman with diabetes, who may have been controlling her blood sugar with oral medication, may be advised to switch to insulin, as this is thought to better control glucose levels. Rapid-acting insulin analogues are valuable because they best mimic normal physiological response to a meal. The Colorado River is one of the principal rivers in the southwestern United States and northern Mexico. The 1,450-mile-long, 2,330 kilometers, river drains an expansive, arid watershed that encompasses parts of 7 U.S. and 2 Mexican states. Starting in the central Rocky Mountains of Colorado, known for its dramatic canyons, whitewater rapids, and 11 U.S. national parks. To overcome that obstacle, scientists figured out how to disable the entire circadian system of the mice, then jumpstart individual clocks. For example, despite the shutdown of all other body clocks, including the central brain clock, the liver knew what time it was, responded to light changes as day shifted to night, and maintained critical functions. Yale researchers have figured out how to catch and save Schrödinger's famous cat, the symbol of quantum superposition and unpredictability, by anticipating its jumps and acting in real time to save it from proverbial doom. The discovery enables researchers to set up an early warning system for imminent jumps of artificial atoms containing quantum information. When 3rd to 5th grade students, who participated in a one-year gardening program, filled out a survey of life skills, they showed a significant increase in self-understanding and the ability to work in groups compared to non-participating students. Youth interns in community gardens reported increases in maturity, responsibility, and interpersonal skills. Sustained speeds like this would be equivalent to downloading a 2-hour HD movie in 10 seconds, blazing fast in any environment. Of course, reaching 5G's ultimate potential is a journey, and these milestones represent just part of the exciting moments in building a 5G world. Computer networks are changing the way we think and interact. They are redefining the spatial and temporal parameters of the interaction they mediate so that online discourse is taking new directions, particularly in the way people write. One important observation made by a number of researchers is that new conventions are evolving and blurring the past distinctions between writing and talking. In today's marketplace, it is more important than ever to have the right talent on your team. Yet, finding the right candidate for a permanent position, from reviewing resumes to identifying quality candidates, is time-consuming and potentially costly. Manpower has proven expertise in recruiting, assessing and qualifying candidates for permanent openings. To manage the complexity of today's world of work, you require talent solutions that support business strategy and meet your workforce needs. We work closely with you to deliver the business agility and staffing flexibility needed to deliver the talent you need, and to uncover opportunities for increased efficiency you may not even have seen. Manpower helps you to manage the ever-changing talent needs in today's world of work, in which rapid access to the right talent is a powerful competitive advantage. With our thorough understanding of staffing trends and our deep pool of highly qualified candidates, Manpower can deliver the talent, matching the right individual to the right job, faster and with better business results. There is an increasing focus on quality throughout United States. When talking about total quality management, continuous quality improvement, or any other name given to the quality movement, the common thread is meeting the needs of those who pay for and use the services and products provided by an organization. A proper abstract neither discusses purported merits or speculative applications of a disclosed invention, nor does it compare the invention with prior art. Rather, a proper abstract efficiently describes the disclosed subject matter and encompasses what is believed to be novel. Accordingly, extensive mechanical and design details of an apparatus should not be included. They are formed in the same way as all neutron stars, through the core collapse of a massive star in a supernova explosion. It is not entirely clear what conditions cause a magnetar to be created, instead of an ordinary neutron star or pulsar, but in order to achieve such strong magnetic fields. The Korean electronics giant solved the problem, with the protective plastic layer on the delayed $1,980 foldable phone's display. Since this part of the display wasn't attached to the end of the plastic bezel surrounding the screen, some reviewers assumed it was an ordinary screen protector and pulled it off. One of the unidentifiable objects in this study lies just outside Centaurus A, NGC 5128, an elliptical galaxy located about 13 million light-years from Earth. The other is in a globular cluster of stars located just outside NGC 4636, another elliptical galaxy located 47 million light-years from Earth in the constellation Virgo. China says war with US would be a disaster as tensions mount. Defense Minister Wei Fenghe said China would fight to the end on trade issues but was open to talks. China-US ties have become increasingly strained due to a bitter trade war, and US support for Taiwan, and China's muscular military posture in the South China Sea. In particular, the quick and furious response of feminists online, when Harper's Magazine was said to be outing the creator of the Shitty Media Men list. Notorious anti-feminist and backlash opportunist Katie Roiphe was said to be writing the piece, and so within hours women online coordinated to protect the anonymous woman's identity. Our editorial independence means we set our own agenda and voice our own opinions. Guardian journalism is free from commercial and political bias, and not influenced by billionaire owners or shareholders. This means we can give a voice to those less heard, explore where others turn away, and rigorously challenge those. The notion that beauty pageants are anything more than an opportunity to ogle gorgeous, scantily clad women and pit them against each has long been debunked. Despite long-standing claims that pageants like Miss America are a major source of scholarships for young women, the truth is that they offer only a fraction of the money that they claim they do. The revolution in the electronic communication may give rise to new modes of communication. Electronic discourse is a new variety of language that leads to significant variations in written structure of language. Electronic discourse creates a kind of semi-speech that is between speaking and writing, and it has its own features and graphology. If you have a Galaxy's Edge reservation, it's not a free pass to go into the area whenever you want. Guests are assigned specific, 4-hour windows during which they can visit. Each guest with a reservation will receive a wristband that indicates when they are allowed in. Once their allotted time is over, Disney employees dressed as Imperial Stormtrooper soldiers. Not all trends are created equal. Some developments are probably more important and long-lasting in their impact on the world. Certain technologies can define the age they were invented in. Economist Simon Kuznets called these epochal innovations. And that's exactly what we're seeing in the field of genomics. As you'll learn, you're looking at a market well in excess of US $1 trillion. To make a finer point, Fed researchers say the increase in wealth among the top 10% is largely a result of that cohort obtaining a larger concentration of assets. The share of assets held by the top 10% of the wealth distribution rose from 55% to 64% since 1989, with asset shares increasing the most for the top 1% of households.